Welcome to the Old Boar Plays City Skylines. This is a tutorial series for you to learn all about Railway 2 train networks. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to put in a Cloverleaf train interchange. I'm going to be expanding my passenger line in my downtown area and elevating those trains so that I can build the downtown easily. So I'm going to put in the interchange right here. The interchange as well is going to be elevated, so I'm going to take this 4-track passenger line and elevate it to 33 feet. I'm going to use Railway 2 USA 4x2 noted. I'm going to force ground, come out 36 units, and go up to 33 feet. You also want to have on straight slope. Now I'm going to force bridge, carry this across. Going to be bringing a train line in through this little town and out across the islands to these two cities. That way they don't have to go all the way around to the airport train station to get to the downtown area. The train line is going to come through this part of town, so I want to stretch out 2 tracks from this 4-track passenger line. And for that I'm going to use noted 2x2. You want to come off of a node, and you want to unselect road bending and put on anarchy. I'm going to come out 10 units at a 90-degree angle. This is normal that you see that disappear. For this particular example, you're going to need the Network Multitool mod. You could try to build this by hand, but I really suggest this. Create loop mode is what we're going to use here. We're going to take the top segment and come down to this first segment that highlights on the left. You can see that we have an 80-meter loop. I'm going to put my cursor on that center dot and I'm going to move it out to 90 meters. Before I hit enter, I'm going to select elevated. If you don't do that, these white embankments come straight into your lines there. So I'm going to take the other side, select this first segment, move it out to 90 meters as well, and hit enter. If you only need a partial cloverleaf, this will be good for you. But I want a 4-loop interchange, which is a full cloverleaf. So I'm going to select this segment. The segment changes size, but you're going to want this one. Now down here near this segment, You can switch the orientation by clicking on that little end piece. And again, we'll move this out to 90 meters. And hit enter. Again, you'll want to come to this end piece, select it to change the orientation. We're already at 90.1 meters. I think I'm going to be good with that. This is just the beginning of making all of this work. We don't want to put in the bridge segments and deal with the catenaries until we've got everything working. I'm going to build a few train stations so that we can see this working. Where I would bring tracks off of this interchange is right in the center of this node. Now we'll make some train lines to connect this up. This blue line here is the airport line coming through these tracks. Trains are going to slow down through this interchange, and that's good. Now we're going to clean up the interchange a bit. These crossovers are a bit redundant, but they work, and to make this a completely smooth crossover, you could use Railway 2 Procedural USA tracks and remove some of those redundant crossovers. So now we're going to take our noted track, put in bridge, and replace some of these. We don't want to replace that one. We don't want those white barriers coming into the interchange. If you're actually going to make this track come off, you might leave that one off as well. This particular catenary here, it's very hard to get rid of. You can use node controller, and you can move your nodes, and you can use network skins. Go up here and take those catenaries off with none. To get rid of these embankments here, we're going to use regular 4x2 and replace this track. Be very careful not to come into this area. You want to come out into this area here. And then you want to move your mouse over and get that other track. Your connections are still smooth. Your catenaries are fairly decent, except for this one here. We'll also bring in these segments. Want to do this segment first. And when I'm coming in, I want to make sure that I'm not down onto one of the bended segments. You can see the 4-track starting to form going out in the 2 tracks. You want to move it right up into the center of this node. Now I'm going to be using an asset pack called Railway Decorative Networks. Come in to find it and type Ronnie, and I have a few here. This is all a matter of preference, but I like this one here. You can start right here and stretch out a piece from left to right. Just a concrete border with a little fence on it. Another asset that I'm really enjoying is the Ourence Elevated Railway. There are 5 assets in this pack. This is 2x2 noded, and it's got a side barrier on it, and this is the arch bridge. You might prefer to use this over the regular railway too. And what it does is it gets rid of those concrete barriers coming through the middle of your tracks. It comes straight into the others without the need to put in those railway decorative networks. You will have to use something to patch up this piece here. This is actually a nice concrete edge here. For my particular application, I'm going to bring tracks straight out of this node into the little town. There's this node and this one and these two. We want to come out of this one here. You can see we have a node here and a node here. And I'll be coming out of this side as well. Want to make sure you're on this node, or you're going to get that glitch that we just saw. Another thing you want to do, if you have Traffic Manager Present Edition, you want to open up your window and go to Priority Signs, click this center node, and put Yield Signs here. This will keep your trains on the loops from running into the passenger trains that come through this main line here. We've got a little bit of a wonky issue here. Sometimes you can fix that by just bending the node slightly. They look smooth now, so I'll leave well enough alone. So let's try out the vanilla tracks. Here are the quad tracks that come for vanilla game. And we'll do the same thing we're doing on this side. Hopefully we've got enough room. And we'll come straight out of a node, 10 units, 90-degree angle. And we'll do the same process with node controller. just a little bit wonky here. Maybe my connection wasn't quite. These connections aren't quite. Maybe you can fix that with Node Controller. Thank you for watching The Old Boar Plays City Skylines. Take care now.